Well,
whenever we're ready.
it is definitely nice to be back. It's nice to watch Justin picking out the snacks and eating cheese. Have you had dinner yet? Probably not.
No.
Well, enjoy. I figured you hadn't had dinner.
Well, the haircut looks nice.
Yes, we like it very much.
It's been 2 months. I'm trying to remember how do we start the show.
Has it been 2 months?
Yeah. Well, that was it was the 14th, right?
Yeah, it was right before the solstice.
It was
December.
It was before.
December.
It was
Wow.
yeah.
So we're shooting this 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months after we drop the previous episode.
Yeah.
Let me try this.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tea with Fran. Fran, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
That is so good to hear. Justin?
Doing okay.
Doing just like old times.
Yeah.
Well, it is. Apologize. It's good to be back. It's
Yes.
been a while.
Yes.
Fran, would you like to explain why the hiatus was longer than expected?
I would. On December 18th, I woke up with a high fever and very sick with COVID. And for me, even though I had had all my vaccinations and boosters, there must have been something else. It just wanted to stay with me. Something was like standing on my chest, did not want me to breathe. And it took me, a good 6 weeks just to be able to do ordinary things. So I'm just really beginning to feel like myself. I missed our solstice gathering. I missed Christmas. I missed my 84th birthday. But I'm so glad we got together and we had winter fires just a week ago. And winter fires is like the solstice in many ways because you're still gathering with people that you really love, you feel close to, and you can look back on the year before and empty out your heart. You can share something that maybe you wrote a new poem, maybe you wrote a song, maybe you'd like to talk about something you'd like to do in the new year. But just as people long ago gathered for the solstice to do similar things, we gathered at winter fires. And I do want to say that one of the things that we did for the first time, that was wonderful, is that Kelly brought paper and pencil, passed it around, asked us to write down a list of things that we wanted to forget or put away, never to bring up again, that happened in the year before. And so after we did that, she gathered them up and we burned them in our fireplace. And it was such a freeing experience. It's wonderful. And the thing that had been haunting me, since I wrote it down, like she said, write it down, and I burned it, I have not had any more hauntings.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's working.
It's working.
I just appreciate she didn't take all those things we wrote down and then go put them up online somewhere.
Oh, she would not do that.
Yeah, I don't think.
No,
she would even.
We all know where she lives.
You're right. Right.
Well, Fran, like I've been saying, it's so nice to be back here. For the folks listening at home, I could tell you, I stopped and saw Fran on her birthday, and she was in a way I haven't seen her really before, except maybe when Dan was sick, just so upset. And I remember you saying, for those who listened to the last podcast, we talked about gathering on the 18th to celebrate the solstice.
Yes.
After that podcast, after we recorded that podcast, Fran found out that she had been exposed to someone with COVID.
Yes.
And I checked in daily. She was giving updates, felt fine. Saturday said, I'm feeling good. The chili's made. The toppings are purchased.
Yep.
Everyone, we're going to gather and celebrate. And then, like she said, that Sunday morning, the 18th, the high fever, the difficulty breathing. And
that was scary.
It definitely took 3 weeks for you to even be able to walk without losing your breath. And
I know.
It wasn't until late January that seeing you that you had your pep and
Coming
your energy back. I watched
right.
you pop off the chair when I got to the house, and that was the first time I saw you in a month that I felt like I was seeing you. So
yes,
scary stuff. We're so glad.
Yeah, it was.
We're glad you're back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad I won. It was like a war, truly.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, granted we're younger, but you ain't no spring chicken, right? That's the old saying.
Let me tell
You
you.
got plenty of time left.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Well, that was something we had discussed. Your purpose is still here. There's
Yes.
much work to be done.
Yes, I'm feeling it.
This podcast is just one of those tasks.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Justin, you have any, 2 months is a little bit of a long time. Anything you want to update with? Any?
Yeah.
As far as updates, I there's so much going on right now. I'm like so scatterbrained. It's just one thing to the next. But no, I mean, I'm just happy to be back and just start chopping it up again and just get back into the conversation and get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
So, in all honesty,
You spoke often, before the break that your health was feeling good. You're still feeling that way.
Still feel
Body's
great.
good.
Body's
mind's
great.
good.
Definitely just not snack. I'm eating a lot of like cookies and cake lately. That's like my new vice. Instead of like drinking, I mean, not like drinking was ever a vice, but I'm substituting that for like dessert. When I go out now, I'll get the dessert because I have the extra room for it. And damn, it is good.
Yeah, that consumption.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if it's going to be in the beginning of the episode, but Justin just told us what he ate at a Super Bowl gathering, and it sounded like he was reading a bar menu for the food. So you go from stress in the liver to stress in the stomach. So
Yeah, I'll put on the pound find whether the pounds are in liquid or food form. I'll find them.
So we normally wait till the end of the episode to kind of go over some Fran mail that has been written in. I know, it's the month of love. We discussed kind of diving into that, but we did get some Fran mail that I think would be fitting to cover right now because
Okay.
Justin's talking about, substituting one form of consumption for another.
Oh.
So someone wrote in, they know who they are, and their question was, how do you consume less? Less materials, less politics, less news, less everything. How do you live simply? And that was a question we discussed at the solstice.
Yes.
And I was just wondering, not that food is bad to consume. We honestly need it.
No.
But any advice for listeners out there to simplify things?
Well, you can't start big. I know that. You have to start small. And it could be that you start just in one room where you spend a lot of time and just looking at everything and things that you don't pay attention to all the time, things that don't really mean anything. But if someone gave you this particular thing, take a picture of it, just a picture, and then have a box where you put things that you want to give away and share with others. You don't have to take them to the landfill. There's so many people that would love to have some of the things that mean nothing to you anymore. They're just stacked up and
You're talking about like actual tangible things in the house.
Tangible
Gotcha.
things.
Like decluttering.
Yeah, start to like simplify and always ask yourself when you're shopping, do you really need that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, yeah, it's nice, but your closet's already packed, unless you're looking at it and it's to give away. That's one of the things when I shop now, I'm basically shopping for people I want to give things to. Not for me. There's nothing I need. People don't need half the things they think they do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And think about all the food in the refrigerator that really goes bad.
Oh my God. I was just talking about this the other day. I want to host the first party where there's not enough food. Every party I go to, there's too much food. And then at the end of the night, everyone's foisting the food off onto people.
Yeah.
And you're still stuck with food. You can't eat it all. It gets thrown out. I want to have the first party where there's not enough food.
Oh, that's it. And that, yeah.
I'm sure people are going to be a little pissed off.
Yeah.
But too bad.
Party was nice, but I'm still hungry.
Yeah. Like the one thing people remember about every party is food.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there any consumption tactics, not food related, Justin, that you find yourself using?
Just don't. That's at the end of the day, it's like, how do I stop doing something? You just have to stop. You just have to kind of rip the Band-Aid off, as much as it might be like tough to do, or it hurts, or it's just because you're always around it, you're always consuming it. You just have to really just stop. Just be aware in your head. It's like, hey, I'm telling myself to do this. I should probably listen to myself.
Discipline.
Yeah, discipline. Yeah.
Well, I think also you can also drink a glass of water. Sometimes I think that you think you're hungry, but that's not what it is. You're thirsty.
Yeah, for people with like hunger,
Yeah.
just don't sit in front of trays of food. That's probably
right.
should remove yourself from the
Yep.
situation.
Thirst manifests
Mhm.
itself as hunger.
And as far as like media or any other like addiction or anything, I don't even know. Like, just have to it's like anything. You just have to commit to it, rip the Band-Aid off,
Mhm.
and you do it for yourself at the end of the day. If you're doing it for somebody else,
Yeah.
that might be a good idea. I don't know, but I mean, you should always be doing it for
Yeah.
yourself.
I think just thinking of consuming less news and politics is just, try to maybe look at it from another angle. Why am I so invested in something? What is it
Mhm.
doing to me? Obviously, I don't think we should live in ignorance and, just stick our heads in the sand. You got to be aware of what's going on. But we all know folks that you ask them how they're doing and they start spouting global politics.
Yes.
Well, is that how you're doing or is that how the globe's doing? And
Oh yeah.
it's definitely a fine balance, and you got to first acknowledge it in yourself. And, just what I started doing to use my social media less is my phone had app timers. So I did 30 minutes on all, my social media apps, and I recently lowered them down to 25 minutes. I'm hoping maybe in a couple more weeks.
You're gonna be in the negative numbers, and somehow your phone's you're gonna have to entertain your phone.
We are heading that way. I did have a funny thought, Fran, when you mentioned, take pictures of things.
Yes.
It's just you go to someone's house and they furnished with just pictures of furniture. So like you're in their living room, but
this is where the couch would be. Look, check out the picture of my coffee table.
It's just like pictures. So welcome to my mind. And then just Justin, you want to mention anything about the winter fire? Anything you wanted to add along to what Fran said?
Yeah, I mean, it's every year. It's always just it's a good time. It's us just doing what we do best, just hanging out, eating, chatting, eating, chatting.
We had the chili.
Yeah,
and it was delicious.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
And sharing stories and whatever's going on.
I know it was great fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, really. We talked about the other day, Fran, you and I, that there's only 2 solstices a year, but you can have a winter fire, anytime when it's cold out. And
yes,
who doesn't like to gather on a cold night with friends and eat? And, I think that's something, you get together with your friends, but it's to watch a football game. It's to go out somewhere. Yeah. It really is nice to just sit down and talk and get insight into one another. And it was really nice. And then, of course, how do we end it?
Oh, the gong wash.
Gong wash.
Got to have a gong wash.
Big gong guy. Yeah. Huge gong guy.
And, we talked about on the show before, just the vibration.
Yes.
Coursing through your cells and how good that feels. And Adam is just an expert.
He's good.
I mean, I don't really have much to compare it to, but he's got to be an expert.
He's very good. Yes.
We need to wash the earth.
But the whole thing with we have the winter fires and the summer gathering, so you can get a group of people together and celebrate anything at any time. Too.
Yes.
So it's like still to make that effort of like what's important to like your little clan or not clan of people. That sounds terrible. But your little group of people, what's important to them, and like find a reason to host something.
Yeah,
get people together, rally up the troops. That also sounds bad. Clans rallying up troops. I don't know whatever this is going.
We got to get out of Sussex County.
No, but and what I think the last episode we were talking about was what was it? It was Monkey Day or something. So what is today? What would today be? Do you know what today is? There's a national holiday that's made
look it up. National Pizza Day passed recently.
That's what I mean. Celebrate. I mean, you can celebrate every day.
Every day, right?
Whatever day it is.
Yes. Can you find a national day?
The National Day calendar.
Okay. And what is today? Today is the 13th.
It's National Bird Feeding Month.
Okay. I do that. I do that.
And National Cheddar Day.
Cheddar. These are little cheddar fish.
Oh, yeah, we got goldfish, so there we go. Celebrating. Here we go.
We just missed National Plum Pudding Day.
Oh, no.
I'm happy. I want to miss that day every day.
It's also
what is plum pudding? Is it actual plum?
Oh, they use plums, right? And it's a custard with plums in it.
Oh, it's like, I'm not accustomed. It's just like
Yeah.
I'd always just like it's like that off-white color and just kind of like gross. Like,
we
it's just-
can't do it now, but there should be an episode where we just go and pick out our favorite days, because
Yeah.
not only
There's
is
a
there a
lot.
National Chopsticks Day, the following day is National Fettuccine Alfredo Day.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, very heavy.
fancy,
Very
huh?
heavy.
So January 22nd is the Celebration of Life Day.
Oh, that's nice.
January 22nd.
That's a good one.
That's a great one to celebrate. Yeah.
So
So we could celebrate a lot more, not
Yeah.
just the winter and summer solstices. We could
Yeah,
do
what we
it.
should do is we should find
Every
all
day.
of our, whatever we should go look up whatever our favorite day is. What pick it from calendar, put it in a hat, draw it, celebrate it.
Right. Well, we'll encourage everyone to do that. Get together with good friends.
yeah. So, Justin, is there anything else you wanna add?
These
Anything?
oranges are delicious. That's why.
Good. Help
Great.
yourself.
So we've talked. It's February. It's the month of love.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got some great topics to kind of go over.
I do.
I think we should dive in. I will start it with a quote you said the other day,
Okay.
and this is a Fran
Okay.
quote. People are complicated.
Oh, yes. Very.
Extremely.
I
From
thi-
one complicated
Okay.
person to another.
I think that's a nice way to lead into love.
It is. A saying that I like is that the greatest pursuit of human life is to love and to be loved. I think that's it.
To love and be loved. Yeah.
To love and be loved. And there are different kinds of love. The one that always kind of jumps out in this month is eros, romantic love. That's what people are talking about, chocolates and beautiful flowers and diamonds and that sort of thing to attract each other or to reward each other. But I believe that the first love that we should be most concerned about is self-love. If you do not have self-love, you don't really know yourself. And so to find a partner to spend your life with and not know who you are, you won't be choosing wisely. So you need to care about who you are, really know the things that are important in your life, the things that you want to do the rest of your life. How do like even your job, choosing a job and then finding yourself like, I hate my job. What you really don't like is how you're spending every day. You need to have the love of your job. That's another kind of love. But you won't know what kind of job to choose until you know yourself. So you really have to know yourself. And then you need to value yourself so that you feed yourself well.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself. Because then you are healthy. And in order to have a wonderful relationship with someone, you need to be healthy. And you need to help that person, that partner, to be healthy too. And you need to choose someone that it's not like just for the moment in chemistry, so that you're just looking at each other and the rest of the world can just fall off somewhere into space. Instead, you need to both really value each other as unique as you are, and you need to be standing side by side, not face to face, and you need to be looking out toward the future and concentrating on very similar goals. And if you don't do that, then it's not going to last. It will only be chemistry and it will burn out. So think about self-love first. And also think about who taught you how to love.
So I remember when I first brought up doing a podcast with you and running by topic ideas, I mentioned, we would talk about love and life and death and everything. And every time I'd bring something up, you'd start just giving all this great information. I would always have to cap it. But I remember you saying your first love is your mother.
That's it. That's who teaches you how to love. She teaches you all about love, responding to your cries, to your needs, whatever they might be, caring for you when you get a boo-boo, kissing them, loving you, making you feel that you're the most precious thing in all the world.
This is for all the moms out there.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yes.
But that's really where it begins. And it is such a sad story when someone doesn't have the love of their mother,
Absolutely.
right? They don't. And it happens just like that infant that was found after the earthquake and still with the umbilical cord attached, but the mother didn't live. And so now this little baby has to be cared for by others.
I'm sorry.
You didn't see
this. No.
Oh
So
my-
wait,
oh, there,
I know obviously the earthquake. Wait, this person gave birth
Yes.
while they were trapped?
yes, while they were
Damn.
trapped.
Can't even imagine.
And now this baby is very healthy in the hospital.
Good.
And the little girl's name is Miracle. She is a miracle. But she won't have the love of her mother. But hopefully there will be that person who really wants to have a child and will adopt this little girl.
100%. Oh, someone's going to jump on. Someone's going to jump on that
Yeah,
opportunity.
yeah. I hope so. Right. So after you really get to know yourself and you love yourself,
Mhm.
all right, and then you can be involved with a person that really attracts you. And what is it that attracts you? I know it starts off being sort of a surface thing almost, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's long hair, you know? Maybe it's like how they look in a bikini, right?
Mm.
Maybe it's their job and their prestige. Maybe
That money.
money,
And
that they
can't be
yeah, I know.
That's not a good attraction.
No,
Money shouldn't be.
but it might attract some people, and
If they're both money hungry, that's a good match.
exactly. Okay, but one of the things that I discovered when I started reading this book, I happened to see Jay Shetty. He was a guest on one of those talk shows. I can't remember which one I was watching. And it's a New York's best-selling author. And it's 8 Rules of Love and how to find it, how to keep it, and how to let it go. And these are all things that I'd like for us to discuss sometime. We can't do it all in one evening.
No.
Okay. But one of the things I didn't know, and I think you might like to know, that there is this hormone that is released during sexual activity, and it's oxytocin. I have never known about that. And it says that they're sure that men have less of it all the time and women have more. But during sex, men get much more of it. And what this hormone does is make them think that they're in love. So it's like a love hormone.
Love versus lust.
Saying you shouldn't say "I love you" during sex. is what we're coming down.
That's right.
That's the name of the episode, right?
That's right. Okay. So that, like I said before, you don't like become a clam. Like you lose all your friends. You're only focused on this one person. It's just obviously chemistry. Mm-hmm. It will burn itself out. Mm. But if you choose someone who enjoys so many of the things that you like to do, you're interested in, then you'll still have your friends in your life. And that's one of the things I think we need to talk about: love of friends. People who don't have any, there are people that don't. I think they're hiding. I think they feel that if somebody got to know them, they wouldn't like them.
It's some sort of like underlying insecurity.
So self-love. Yeah. You see, that didn't happen for them. But I have found in all these long years and all the moves in my life, it's friends were always there to help get over those bumps in the road, because there are so many. And you know what? If you let your needs be known, sometimes it's just a little thing that you need, but you don't know until you tell your friend and they said, "Oh yeah, I've got that. Oh, it's in a drawer. You can have it."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's that simple, but you need friends to help you get through life.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Good.
Anyone that knows Justin or myself, we've been best friends forever, and having someone to bounce any and every idea off of has greatly enriched my life. Hopefully you feel the same.
100%.
And it is sad when you meet folks that feel like they don't have anyone. You can tell there's always that sense of insecurity, that they're unsure of themselves. They don't have that self-love. And, if they can just work through that, find a way to love themselves, no matter their faults, that they can go out in the world and find people that, get along with them and can be there for them. And it's been a while since I've had someone, have something I need, but I know when I've gone through difficult times, talking to you, talking to Justin,
right,
hearing the things you guys had to say and always telling me what I needed to hear and not, what I wanted to hear. And I have some really great friends out there. I'm very lucky, blessed, for the folks in my life. And they've told me such important things. Not, Kevin, you're such a nice guy. Like, that's not like what you always need to hear. You need to hear.
I don't think I've ever said that to you.
No, of course not. That's why I couldn't give it as an example of what I've heard. But it's you gotta stay true to yourself. And when we were talking about this topic the other day, you and I, Fran, how important it was that if you have a love that fails for whatever reason, to go back to that self-love, know who you are, and then from there you can grow once more.
Yes, you can.
But how that, it is that cycle. And I've been there, I've been hurt tremendously, and you go through these difficult times, and it's like, all right, well, what matters to me? What can I do to get back to being who I am?
Yes.
That always starts with yourself and friends and people to, pick you up 100%. When you can't do it yourself.
Yeah. But there's also family love. You know how some people just dread when everybody gets together at Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever for a big celebration, and they know there's going to be arguments and people are going to get very upset about something because they're so different. But people in families can be different.
It's okay. I find it entertaining when there's a little bit of arguments. I jump in, I leave, and but no, I think you're right.
Yeah, but it is such an important love. It is that attachment you can't have with anyone else. And so when you disagree, be sure that you make up. Be sure. And be the first one to say, I'm sorry. It doesn't hurt to say I'm sorry and start over. And
it's a pride thing too, for like saying I'm sorry. Like, I've had issues where it's like I know I'm wrong, but it's like I don't want to say I'm sorry because it's like that's like I mean, obviously you're owning up to it. I'm like always like in like work, I've always been the first to own up to any of my mistakes, anything like that. But I think in my personal life, that's where like I would kind of look, I would kind of either stonewall myself like away from it, or I wouldn't just. I would take a while to get to the I'm sorry when I should have just said I'm sorry like way sooner.
Right.
So.
Those two words are very important. Okay. And then another one that I thought was interesting is ludus. They call it ludus, which is casual or non-committed love.
It's like an open relationship? What is that?
Well, there are people that, have you ever heard anyone say, we're friends with benefits?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Fran, explain to the listeners out there what the benefits are.
Well, it's like there's a physical relationship, not just friends, but occasionally but it's non-committal.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily like a bad thing though. For people like at certain points in your life, you need that where you don't have the time, whether it's for a relationship, if you're like very busy between work or school. I don't know. Like, I just feel like sometimes people want someone to be there. And if it's mutually understand, then there's always someone who's going to get a little like hurt more than the other. But I think for the most part, if it's mutually understand, it's not understood. It's not a bad idea.
What I'm thinking now, and you read these terms to me the other day, is it Greek or Latin? This
is Greek.
Yeah. So it's quote unquote ancient terms. It just shows that all these types of love have been discussed and experienced, and you could just call it human nature.
Right.
Today, love, relationship, friends with benefits, there's an app for that. Like, you can have all these non-committed relationships out there, and it feels like it's this new thing. Like, it's these everyone's just addicted to their phones. They don't want,
Yeah.
or they don't know how to have these relationships. But
Yeah.
this is going back hundreds, thousands of years.
Yes.
And even back then, there was
People just
Yeah.
there was
like having
players.
sex, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
And
people.
so I just find that interesting that it's not a new phenomenon. And someone once said there's nothing new under the sun.
That's
and
right.
I think
Right.
this is just another example of that.
Well, you need to think about people that have the kind of job or profession where they are always traveling, or they're always like they're in a rock band, and they are,
Got the tour bus. They got the groupies.
So what would that have been 3,000 years ago, Fred?
The guy who you should have seen how much tail the guy who invented the wheel got.
Well,
He was all over the
it
place.
might be sailors long ago who were always like going, to make
Port
discover,
to port,
yeah, port
picking
to.
up whatever venereal disease along the way.
But for them, they couldn't commit
Yeah.
and have a regular life.
They only love the open seas, huh?
So there is this other love that is considered a love.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is a kindness. And of course, pragma, which is the love of special interests. People who absolutely love their work. They don't even know they're working because they enjoy it so much.
Mhm.
And there are people, creative people. There's one right here, this
I
artist.
love some things I do, some things I don't, but I got to do them.
But when
it's a
you
balance. It's a balance.
The-
That's all. That's for
exactly.
me. Life has been. It's a balance, and it's like enjoy what you can. The things you don't enjoy that you still have to do, just do it. Don't complain about it. Just get through it. And,
yes.
things will be okay.
Yeah. So people who have very creative lives have to have time alone to create. Just think about it.
Mm.
Musicians, writers who write, the books that we see on shelves. Just think of all the alone time that was necessary to produce those books.
Wow. Yeah, I never thought of it as like alone time. Yeah, researching, writing, drafting, editing.
Yes. And you have to have a partner that gives you that and doesn't make you feel guilty that you're not just hanging out and talking to them.
Yeah.
Because when people align themselves with somebody who really wants to be with you almost every moment possible, that doesn't work. Because a person who really loves writing, loves their music, loves, whatever interest they have, if they can't do it, they can only go so long and then they must do it. And so then the breakup happens.
Mm.
So you need to really think about who you are and how much alone time you actually need.
Yeah.
So you have to communicate. Yeah, you have to communicate. Obviously, who you are with the person you're with, as much as they communicate with you.
Yes. So it goes back to self-love once again.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure that you know who you are.
That was a really interesting thing of you to say, to know how much alone time you need.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something I don't know. People go, I need time to do that, which I guess whatever that may be, could be alone time, but to just quantify, I need, at least 45 minutes a day to work on something alone, uninterrupted. So,
right.
Fran, you could be out here saving relationships.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Or tearing relationships apart. I got it. It's a balance, right? Good and bad.
If Fran has helped or hurt your relationship, please write into
Please call this number
at teawithfranmail@gmail.com.
Okay, let me see if there's anything that I made lots of notes this time. I love this one. Tell me the difference between liking and loving. I love this one.
You want to
go? The floor is yours.
I insist.
Well, I think it's I'm trying to think of the best metaphor to use. It's the difference between liking something and loving it. It's I love hockey. I love playing it. I love watching it. I know that's something I love. I don't mind watching football. I watched the Super Bowl, but I didn't watch the last quarter of it because I liked it, but I don't love it. I don't need it. So I think it's once you don't have the choice of your need for something, that's when it goes from like to love.
If you can live, if you could be without it, you're saying it's like I could be without this. Like, I like it, but like I could be without it. But it's like something you love, you don't want to lose.
Yeah, and that's even the same with I guess I don't know if maybe talking about like your family in that sense, but someone new into your life. Oh, I like spending time with them. Oh, I really like spending time with them. Oh wow, I feel like I need to spend time with them to enjoy my life fully because of what they have to offer, so on and so on.
Well, in this book, I love what it started. Jay said,
"Oh, Justin's got to answer."
Oh, yeah.
I pretty much.
Yeah, you did.
What he says, pretty much. I mean, as far as you like it, like something you like.
I agree with
something
that.
you like. You can live without it.
Yes,
something you love, you don't want to lose. I think that's.
Well, Jay.
I had to get there by hearing him his 4-minute thing versus my 10-second thing.
Jay Shetty said that if you look at a flower and you like it, you pick it. But if you love the flower, you water it every day and take care of it.
She told me that the other day. Why couldn't I think of that in the moment?
Spray my girlfriend with a hose. Babe, I love you.
You try that.
No, but it does. A relationship does take care. A lot of care.
Yeah, no, it does.
Love is fragile.
People are complicated.
And people are very complicated. Exactly.
Love is fragile and people are complicated.
Yeah.
Making love sound like a scary thing.
But it is so much fun.
Making it sound like cliches.
Yeah.
So a couple notes from the other day, Fran, we can just work through here.
Okay.
For the folks out there that are single and are looking, what advice is it besides loving themselves?
Okay.
I have here, don't be blinded. How can folks out there, prevent themselves from being blinded, or, how do they acknowledge, maybe what are now called, red flags?
Well, if they can get past that first, feeling like, oh my God, I just think that is just the most wonderful person. And you just go home because you're thrilled with this person. You need to spend lots of different experiences with that person. Go to different things. Listen to them when they talk to you.
A long car ride.
Yeah, but you need to really talk. And you need to ask questions about whatever's happening, get their feeling on things. I mean, there are certain issues that if you really disagreed on them, it would never work. I'm always very surprised when I see people that don't have spiritual similarities in their values, because that's such a dominating force. And so if you find yourself, in a relationship with someone who says, these are the rules, and this is it. You've got to do this, this, and this. You can't be happy pretending. Some people.
You can only act for, I always say, you can bite your tongue for so long until there's nothing left to bite onto. It's just that you're over it. Yeah.
There are people that are like chameleons, and they sort of change their colors for a while and pretend to be the person that this gorgeous person seems to like, because you don't want to disappoint this person because you like to be with them. But that won't last. It will not last.
Superficial.
It's very superficial. Yeah. So take time. Don't rush into anything.
Yeah, that was another note I had here was give time for love to mature.
Yes.
You can't rush something.
No. You can't keep pretending too long. It doesn't. You just can't. Yeah. You wear out.
All right, and then I guess maybe the last thing we haven't really covered, or we're close to it, is how do you let love go?
Oh, you know what? That might be a real good one for another evening.
Okay.
So that we really talk about that, because there are always going to be things that happen when you lose a person. I mean, one of the things we have to always know is that we don't last. We all have to go. That's the story. And sometimes it's an accident. Sometimes this person changes.
Yeah.
And sometimes people have mental illnesses. All kinds of things happen. And that nobody is going to escape without losing someone that you love.
Yeah.
You just can't. So we should talk about it and
Yeah,
how
that's a
you
good topic,
how
yeah.
you deal with it.
Mhm.
Think about that, and then the next time we're together, that's a perfect one.
Love
Cool.
part 2.
Love part 2. How do you let it go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Justin, any
No, nothing else to add.
No.
all right, let me
Wraps it up.
Yeah.
Want to do the call outs?
Yeah, I mean, how are we doing on time? Should I see if we got any more Fran Mail?
More Fran Mail. Let's dive into it.
Let's see. The other one just seemed so fitting at that time.
Yeah.
All right, this person wrote in and they said, has there ever been a time where you feel like you lost your true self? And if so, how did you get it back?
Your true self, that you lost it? See, that question is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like that person was like a chameleon a bit. You know, that person was trying to.
I see what you're getting.
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
You lost a part. You lost a version of you, but now you're going to develop a new version. It's like your true self is always, I feel like, changing. Like, I mean,
you're growing.
You're growing. You're never going to necessarily change, but you are going to grow in
That's right.
directions. Some directions might lean heavier one way towards the other, but yeah, I think
But the true self is always there. And it's like people
forever learning, right?
People just put covers on sometimes, depending on where they are, or the job that they have been promoted to. You know, then they think they have to be different and put on another cover, so everybody will think that they fit in that position. You know, if you will just be who you are, remember the one thing you are here to do is to be truly, fully you. There is no one else in all the world like you. You are unique. You have come at the right time. We need you now. Right now. You've entered history. You're going to change it, and you're going to make the world a better place. I believe that.
I think that's great.
Yeah,
Stay true to yourself.
Yeah,
that's your
stay
purpose.
true.
That's why you're here.
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it off. Folks, it's so great to be back, Fran.
Good to be
so
back.
Happy you're healthy. Justin,
I'm so glad.
So happy you're doing okay. Folks, you know you can follow us on, well, really just only on Instagram.
Instagram. Follow us on YouTube.
Tea with Fran podcast. Oh, on
like,
YouTube.
subscribe, share.
Yeah, and we're back now, and we're diving in deep.
Yes.
Fran is, I guess we didn't go over your credentials in the beginning, but Fran is an expert on love, you know, with many, many, many years, decades of experience in the field.
Miss my love.
So we trust what she has to say. She has helped probably Justin and I both separately, you know, deal with difficulties in love. Yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. I love you guys.
I love you too.
Guys.
I love you.
Everyone out there listening.
Right.
I love my girlfriend.
That's a little bit stretch, but I do love most. I love most. I love most.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
to
Day.
everyone.
We love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Soon.
Till next time.
Till next time.